This whole game has been emotional. I think for Larian, like every single one of us on like release day, we're just hitting like refresh, looking at Metacritic, we're just seeing all the responses on Twitter and like jumping on like the Baldur's Gate subreddit and just like, what's going on? What are people saying? Like, do they like us? And then there's just overwhelming positivity. Weeks later, we're still in this like high. Like we just don't understand like how our stupid little game has touched so many people. And we get these like heartwarming messages from people saying like, I was in a bit of a dark place. And then I started playing Baldur's Gate and it sort of like elevated me a bit. And I was like, it's a game where I spent a day looking at how much does a cow weigh? Like, how is this making people so happy? But like, we all love it. And we just love seeing like what the fans have kind of like made of it. And as well, like, it's such a, I don't want to say historic, but it's such like a legacy from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 to like see that we've kind of made people happy and see us as like a good successor to those old ones. Yeah. That's been really heartwarming.
Are you on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or any of that stuff? Like seeing all this content constantly be thrown out there. Like what's amazing about Baldur's Gate 3 is it has there's so much coverage of it, of so many people playing it and finding these unique moments. It's so fun to watch these videos.
I watched the For Gnome Barbarian YouTube video, and that was just fantastic because like as someone who was in charge of the Barbarian, and I love shorter races, I don't think they get enough love. Like dwarfs are my all-time favorite, so seeing short races represented, like I love it. And just watching these like 4 guys cause chaos with these like tools I give them, like yeah, we love that. And we're all constantly internally at Larian, like we're sending each other videos we find. Like we have a dedicated channel just for like basically popping up like, have you seen what this guy's done? Like she over here, she's like broken, like owl bears, like come check it out. Like it's fantastic and we love seeing that stuff. We're sharing it constantly.
That's fun. I mean, that had been like one of the best parts about the launch as well. Like moving from early access to that, like all of this must have started flooding in to the entire team.
We were somewhat known in the industry for like Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. That sort of like got our original name out as like people like, we specialize in sort of like CRPGs, like that's our bag. Like we all play this sort of stuff outside of work. And then just to go from this like game that has a weird skeleton dude as a main character to then like pop off as like the success of Baldur's Gate is just insane. Like I have a really cute fluffy dog, right? Who's called Sunny and he's a keyhound and like everyone wants to like pet him and play with him like all the time. Whenever I take him for a walk or whenever I'm on the tube in London, like people like stop me and say, oh, can I stroke your dog? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It was release day and I was walking back to the office. I brought the dog in with me because it was just a bit of fun. And I was walking up and someone like approached me. I was like, oh, someone wants to stroke the dog. And I forgot I was wearing my Baldur's Gate t-shirt. And the guy walked up and he's like, good luck for release day today. And I was like, what? I was like, do you not want to stroke the dog? Is this not about the dog? Me? What? It's really nice.
This has to be amazing for you to like, it feels like a pop culture moment.
It's insane. Like when PAX opened this morning and Sven was standing by the booth, like he wasn't there yesterday. Just instantly, he was like swamped by people that like wanted to meet him and like take photos with him. And it was just so like nice. It's like, you know, this guy that I like have fun with and like work with and I'll drink a glass of wine with and you just want to take pictures with him. And like Sven's like the nicest guy as well. Like he's always interested. Like he loves it when people like tell him about the game they play and like tell him weird stories about stuff they do. And he's just such a friendly guy. So it's like, sure, I'll take a picture with you. Yeah, but it's odd becoming these like gaming celebrities. Like I don't want to say overnight because it makes it sound like a crazy thing, but in the same way, it's very much been like this past month we've been watching the Steam charts. Like we all are just like sitting there watching the numbers come in and we're like, oh my God, we were not expecting this.
Yeah.
It's been emotional, like in a fun way. Like we've put a lot into this game and to see that pay off, like it's been like magical almost.
It's got to feel a little bit like Frodo and Sam, like getting to Mount Doom a bit, right? Like there's this sudden pause. Sven, talked about it as kind of like the black hole, like that moment right after a game is complete.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what it felt like at the studio.
Yeah, it was weird. We weren't like down tools exactly. Like we internally, like there's still things we want to polish. Like there's still bugs we want to fix. But yeah, there was that moment of just like, what do we do now? Like, what's our mission? Like this game's come out. We still want to work on it. And obviously like the PlayStation and like the early releases today. So some of us are still like, we still have things coming. And with the Xbox release later in the year, like there's more waves of kind of excitement coming.
Is it weird being at PAX and seeing fans directly? It's kind of funny they all fit together the day for PlayStation 5 launch. The game's out. You're at PAX interacting directly with fans.
Yeah, I think this has been my like second event like I've been to and like had a chance to interact with people. Like I was at EGX in London a couple of years ago. Like when we had, I think it was the release of the Sorcerer, and it was a much smaller booth back those days. It was like we were relatively popular, but there wasn't like hordes of people like queuing up for merchandise. We sold out of like a couple of things, but it's been insane today. Like the minute we open up like the doors for PAX, there's just a massive queue all the way around the booth for people like, we want BG3 t-shirts, and like we can finally get them out to the players. It's just so odd, like just seeing these people. Like, I want merch of the thing you worked on. Like,
yeah,
it's like I'm grateful they bought like the game and played it and like getting their feedback. And it's like, no, we want more. And the amount of people are asking like, when's the next thing? And I'm like, I don't know. Like this.
Your studio is so transparent and so player focused. This has to be just a remarkable experience.
We're very fortunate in the amount of like freedom we have as a studio to like, A, we work on something that all of us love, and B, like Sven as a leader, like he's open to suggestions about everything, and he wants the game to be as good as like the rest of us, if not more. Like he's in the trenches, like he's sitting there with the writers, like constantly like, what if we do this? What if we do this? He works really hard in the game, but he also respects everyone he works with and like trusts their decisions. He might come to me and be like, Ross, can we do this? As much as he is the boss, I'm also like, I don't agree. And he's like so open to stuff. He's not like, no, I'm the boss, like you must do this. He's like, no, I hear your points. Yeah, sure. Let's keep it that way. So that's been really good. Something as well, just because you mentioned like playing the game and having those moments. Even us, like internally at Larian, I had moments watching the D&D movie this year where like we weren't given any sort of like like we didn't get to see it for anyone else. So I went to the same cinema as like everyone else, and I was sitting there like giggling when like Harpers came on. I was like, I was just doing stuff with the Harpers in game, and there they are on like this giant screen in front of me. It's like there's an owlbear. I went with my partner, and it must have been so annoying. I was like chatting about everything that came up
during the movie.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, there's a Displacer Beast. Like I love these.
You're not supposed to do that during a movie in the theater.
I was that dickhead. But it's just so cool, just seeing like blown up the stuff that like I see every day at work. I'm like, we've got that in the game too. It's just so cool.
Is there anything that you want to tell fans at the end of all of this?
I think the fans really made the game for us. I think everything we've like ever read from the forums and like Reddit and from Twitter, like we do read that stuff. The amount they've appreciated the game, like we love our fans. They're such good people. Like, so I guess like the thing I want to tell them is just like, thanks for being there. Like it's been a long early access. It's been like 3 years that people have like, when's chapter 2? When's chapter 2? And I just want to thank them for their patience and for all their feedback. And it's helped us make the game it is today.